Hello and welcome back to Just Smell Better, the best fragrance channel in the world. Cologne fragrances, man, colognes. I thought I was not a big fan of colognes, but throughout my months of collecting, I ended up with 6 colognes somehow. Whether an influencer made me buy it, TikTok was hyping it up, or you guys asked me to buy it so that I can review it and recommend it to you guys, whether it was good or not. I somehow got 6 colognes, so today I will answer all your questions. Are these colognes actually worth it? Are they close to the real thing? And should you buy them? First up, this has to be number 1, Game of Spades Full House. This is the number 1 cologne that is out there right now, especially on TikTok, and that is because it is a clone of Louis Vuitton Imagination, which is somehow like so popular even though it is $330. And so when Game of Spades, the brand, or Joe Milano saw that Imagination was so hyped, they had to come up with a clone. If you guys don't know, Joe Milano, especially the Game of Spades line, recreates so many popular scents and they clones them. So for you guys who watch me, I will be buying more Game of Spades, so let me know which Joe Milanos you want me to buy. But to answer your questions, yes, this one smells 99% similar to Imagination. Has a beautiful pressurized atomizer. So it does smell the same, but is it actually good? Is the smell actually good? That is up for debate. In my opinion, it is kind of average, maybe a little bit above average, like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. But I think that is just because my perception of Imagination was like over here. It was to the moon because it is so hyped. So when I actually got to smell it, I was a little bit disappointed because I was underwhelmed. You know, perception and hype and popularity and people's opinions can sometimes change your own perspective. So objectively, it's a really good freshie for the summer, really uplifting, puts a smile on your face like if you just washed your clothes. But knowing that it's supposed to smell like a $330 designer, high end, I don't know, man, it was a little bit underwhelming. So finally, should you buy it? I don't know. Like, this is definitely 100% worth it if you like this DNA, this scent. But if you just want to buy it for the hype, I say don't buy it. Like, you're probably gonna be disappointed. So I would recommend you sample it, which is why my bottle is half empty, because you guys have been sampling Game of Spades Full House so much. And I think that's a smart thing to do because this bottle like goes for $80 on Jomo Shop, which is too expensive for a cologne. Like, bro, I'm not gonna pay $80. Luckily, I got this as a gift, so I do put it on my sampling store for only $5. So overall rating, I give this like a 6.5 out of 10. My second cologne is Detour Noir by Haramain. We're talking about style points. This is definitely one of the worst ones. Look at this bottle. It looks like a butt plug. I hate having it on my shelf. But if we're talking smell wise, it smells again 90% similar to Layton by Parfums de Marly. It's a creamy vanilla with a little bit of apple and spices, so it ends up being like an apple pie. That's why people describe it as such. And Detour Noir does an amazing job replicating that smell, so yes, it does smell like Layton. Maybe my nose is not trained enough, developed enough to, you know, tell the difference between the ingredients, the quality, but to me it smells pretty good. So does it smell good? Yes. Again, I love Layton. It smells amazing, so I do pull this one out when I go on some date nights. Should you buy Detour Noir? I'd say for this one, probably yeah, because in my opinion, I love Layton to death, but it's pretty overpriced. Even on some like discounters like All Factory LLC, where niche perfumes are usually on a huge discount, Layton is still usually above $300, maybe $200 for a 2.5 ounce bottle. So as much as I love Parfums de Marly as a brand and Layton as a scent, Detour Noir offers the same thing for, I got this for like $30. I don't remember exactly the price, but like right away, like the value for money, it's there, man. If you're not a collector, you probably want to save your money, man. You just want to smell good. Like, who cares about the brand and the niche? I want to smell good, so I want to smell good for $30. I do recommend buying this one, Lattafa Vintage Radio. This one I've been liking a little bit more and more and more. At first I was divided, I was 50-50. If you guys didn't know, this is a clone of Paragon by Initio, which I did smell in store. I was in the niche store and this guy was like bothering me about this one and this one. He wanted me to buy one and he showed me Paragon by Initio, so I took a picture to like, you know, be like, oh, I'll buy it later, like trust me. Little does he know, I'm not gonna go buy overpriced Initio. I'm gonna go for Lattafa, which is an iffy brand, 50-50 brand, but this one is actually pretty good. Again, not my style of fragrances. This one is creamy, fruity, warm, kind of spicy, a little bit of oud, so a little bit hard to pull off, but it's also pretty sweet, which makes it unisex, maybe leaning feminine, which is again not my style. I am more of a manly man smell type of guy. And so should you buy Lattafa vintage radio? This one, again, 50-50 on it. It depends on your style. So if you're looking for a classic everyday scent that you can wear anytime, don't buy this. But if you're looking for a unique, sweet, creamy, fruity scent that can lean a little bit unisex, then this one is your go-to. But overall, I'll give this like a 7 out of 10. And I forgot to rank Detour Noir. That one gets an 8 out of 10. Afnan 9 p.m. Does it smell like the thing it's cloning? Shampoo Gatir Ultra Male? Yes. Yes, it does. 100% smells like Ultra Male. That sweet bubblegum party loud scent that gets me sick. It's so sweet, but luckily, Afnan 9 p.m. makes that scent a little bit less sweet, so it makes it a little bit more wearable for me at least. Does it smell good? Objectively, yes, it smells amazing. Even me, I like randomly open it and get a little whiff because it smells really damn good. So yes, it smells like Ultra Male. Yes, it smells good. So do I recommend buying it? To most people, I would not recommend buying 9 p.m. And that's because 9 p.m. is a really sweet, youthful fragrance that has a high risk of clogging the whole space around you, giving people around you a big headache. You can't wear in school. It's gonna clog the whole classroom. You're gonna have that annoying girl being like, who sprayed too much cologne? So I do recommend if you're gonna spray 1 or 2 sprays, max, please. Or else this one, I'm just warning you, it's really strong, sweet, and overpowering. Lattafa AL Nashama Caprice. Now this one is one that you might have never seen because it's not as hyped on TikTok or even YouTube, but I got this recommended to me by Omar from School of Scents. And it's supposed to be a copy of YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electrique, which I never smelled, so I can't say if it smells like that one, but for me, I think it's more of a clone of Sersha 40 Knots. Maybe this one's a little bit more aquatic, more salty, more marine, but this one still has like that spiciness, that darkness that Sersha 40 Knots had. And I think it's that cardamom, that patchouli, which I think makes it kind of polarizing or kind of off-putting, especially if it's a top note. Because when I bought on my Sersha's, this one was definitely my least favorite one because it was from the top notes, the opening, it was the most different, the most unique. And so that's why this one I didn't really like. I thought it was lame, boring, smelled just soft and creamy, and I put it to the side. But when I went to Florida, when I was by the beach, by the sand, after like everything was done and I took a shower and the sun went down and I went outside and it was refreshing, Sersha 40 Knots was my go-to scent to just relax, smell clean, smell fresh, and still aquatic. I mean, we're in Florida. And so wearing it over there made me fall in love with 40 Knots, but it's a little bit hard to pull off. And back in Chicago, you know, the weather's not made for 40 knots over here. And so maybe that's why I didn't really like Lattafa AL Nashama Caprice, but after getting a closer smell, it definitely does remind me of Sersha, so it definitely changes my perspective on this smell, this scent, this DNA overall, and it makes me like it a little bit more. Like I said, colognes are so complicated. That's why it's so hard to describe it through a screen because I can't describe the smell, right? And it's so subjective and our own opinions change based on our own experiences. And so I hated this one. I didn't really like it. I told you guys, don't buy it, it sucks. But now, since I love Sersha 40 Knots, I'd like this one a little bit more, and so my opinion definitely changed. And finally, Club de Nuit Intense Man. So it's actually pretty interesting. I've had Club de Nuit from Haramain for about 3 or 2.5 years, and I barely sampled Cri de Bentis. But with the sample, I can confirm that yes, Club de Nuit smells pretty much exactly like Cri de Bentis. It has the same harsh opening, but then it tones down into a nice, clean, citrusy, lemony scent. It's smoky and masculine too, so that is why it's so hyped. Like, man, this is a freshie that is citrusy, refreshing, but also smokiness and masculine. Like, it brings out your masculinity. That's why Cri de Bentis was so hyped by all of these influencers. Does it smell good? Yes. The opening is a little bit harsh. Girls might be a little bit, you know, put off by the opening. My girl was definitely a little bit, you know, Well, my sister, when she smelled it, she didn't really like Cri de Bentis, so it's a little bit polarizing in the beginning. But then the real scent comes out. I take this to the gym. It's amazing for spring days, summer days. This one is top tier. I wouldn't buy Cri de Bentis. I wouldn't buy it. It's overpriced. Maybe I would buy Cri de Bentis cologne. That one I love too, but you know, we're talking about this one. This one is definitely worth buying in my opinion. Overall, like an 8 out of 10. So those are all my cologne fragrances that I've collected throughout my journey. Actually, no, they're not. I forgot about Lattafa Khamrah, but you guys know I love Lattafa Khamrah. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, link in the description, and make sure to sample my fragrances, link in the description to smellbettersamples.com. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Just smell better.